We all strive to be in control, to save money when we can, and to make smart choices. So why do we pay so much for wireless service? Tracfone Wireless gives you complete control over your wireless plan.
Because I just want to pay for what I need.
Hey, Mom.
Now get unlimited talk and text plus unlimited carryover data starting at just $20 a month. With Tracfone, you can stop worrying about expensive wireless bills and monthly surprises.
There are no activation or cancellation fees and no overages. So I get the dependable cell phone service I need at the right price.
Find out why millions of customers have trusted Tracfone for their no-contract wireless service.
No, it's just great value without a commitment. And that's why I count on Tracfone to keep me connected for less.
Each plan comes with unlimited carryover data that will not expire with active service.
So I can keep all the talk, text, and data I pay for. I can also add data onto my plan at any time.
Tracfone gives you nationwide coverage on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE networks. And Tracfone offers high-quality phones from top brands, including great smartphones from LG, Samsung, and Apple.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart.
If you love your current smartphone, keep it. Tracfone not only lets you keep the phone you love, but lets you keep your number and network, which means major savings. This is your wake-up call. Stop paying for unlimited data plans you don't need and take back control of your wireless service. Tracfone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Alright, so here we have the device. It looks like it has a front-facing cameras right on top. It's like a punch-in camera right there, so it's built into the LCD on the top. So we're gonna run through the specs again. 6.52-inch display, 16 megapixel camera in the front. Here's the front of the screen. The side we have like a dark gray silver. Nothing on the left, only the SIM card slot opener right there. And then we also get the headphone jack right there, microphone, Type-C port, and speaker. On the right side, we do have the power button, the volume rocker, and on the back side, we do have the 4 cameras right at the top. We do get this nice, cool, it looks like a gray. Online it said it was called Awesome Black, but I don't know if it's the same for this one. So it looks like a dark, kind of not too dark gray. And like I said, online it said it was called Awesome Black, so it looks like a gray to me. I don't know. So 48 megapixel camera is the main camera, and then we got some macro camera, ultra wide camera, and a flash. And then it looks like the fingerprint sensor is built in here, just like the A12. And on the top, we do get, what do we get? We just get a microphone hole. It's like a dark, like silver, so you can barely see it. But yeah, that's the phone itself. Let's check it out.
Basically, the A21 is basically on par with the rest of Samsung's budget and mid-range lineup. And that's to say that it's an all-plastic build, though the one color choice, all black, isn't as flashy or as colorful as the shiny rainbow finish from some other phones, but there's nothing wrong with simplicity. The build is fine. Samsung has pretty much mastered utilizing plastic while still ensuring the phone doesn't feel cheap. And the biggest consideration with this device really just has to do with its size. At 6.5 inches, this is a big phone. It's actually the biggest in the entire A series lineup just by sheer body size. It's a slim, tall phone with that 20:9 aspect ratio, which means it's a bit of a stretch to reach every corner. It won't fit everyone's fingers, but at the same time, getting a huge screen anyway for this price is probably going to be a positive for most people. This year, Samsung moved the camera cutout to the corner with their Infinity O setup and kept a big bottom chin down below. Not the best in terms of maximizing space, but overall the phone does look modern while still referencing the fact that it is a budget device. Taking a look around at everything else, the A21 isn't missing anything important, which is great. We've got expandable storage via a micro SD card slot on the side, the same familiar button placement. Down below there's the headphone jack, USB-C charging port, and single speaker, which is good enough. It sounds the same as about any other single speaker set setup. And across the back, there's obviously a bunch of camera lenses, which I'll get into in a second, as well as the physical fingerprint sensor. The A21 also utilizes Face Unlock too, which works fine. I tend to pair up both unlocking methods when I use this phone, and I quickly get into the device one way or another. There's no issues here. The A21 is actually powered by the MediaTek Helio P35 processor, 3 GB of RAM, and 32 GB of built-in storage, with, like I said, the option to add an SD card for more. Now, here are the Geekbench and Antutu benchmark scores, so you can get an idea of what we're working with, but in real-world use, the A21 is a solid device. This is a phone that, for most everyday tasks, feels fast. You do get a pretty good gaming experience. Sure, there's a frame drop from time to time, but everything is very playable. This is a phone you can confidently game with and enjoy pretty much any titles you want. And that's awesome for a device at this price point. In my time using the phone, there wasn't anything this phone couldn't handle, but I will say this. In 2020, you can get a lot of phone for not a lot of money. And if you're the kind of person who pushes their device kind of hard or expects a lot out of it in day-to-day use, you may actually be better off jumping up to the A31 or even the A21s, where you can get a slightly better processor and a bunch more RAM. Even a couple-year-old flagship device might be a better option for you. Just evaluate your phone usage and daily needs and decide from there. For most people, the A21 is going to be more than fine. Now, actually, one thing this phone does quite well is last throughout the day. Paired with a 15-watt fast charger too, you can quickly charge up this phone as well. But in my time using this the past couple of weeks, I had no complaints with longevity. Finally, let's talk about those camera lenses. The A21 now offers a quad lens setup, and you get everything you need. A 16 megapixel main lens, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. With the software features, there's not a ton that's missing. There's no night mode, unfortunately, but beyond that, there's still plenty to work with. Obviously, you can utilize that wide angle, which I do use pretty often. The macro lens isn't terribly useful, but it's there at least. The depth sensor helps. You've got HDR, panorama, a few other little additions, and 1080p video, and the real-world results look pretty good. You do miss out on some detail. You don't have that crazy high megapixel count that some of the other A-series phones do have, but in general, there's nothing wrong with the pictures. Even the selfies look pretty good actually with the 13 megapixel front camera, and over the last year especially, I totally recognize how much effort Samsung has put into their cameras.